Sup Slayers, Blasty coming in with another boss tutorial. This time we're going to tackle one of my top favorite bosses in the Soul series, and that is Soul of Cinder. So bring your weapons and get ready because we're going to slay a boss today. Before we start, I want to mention that I stream every day on Twitch. I do variety streams with a big focus on challenge runs and boss slayings. So if you feel like supporting me or looking for a place to call home, join us. Our community is very welcoming. Link is in the description. Cinder is the big daddy of Dark Souls 3. Is the last boss you get to fight before ending the game, and with being the last boss, he is tasked with making your experience memorable and a living hell. A boss with 4 movesets in a second phase is definitely an overwhelming boss fight until today. My goal with you is going to be not only to beat him, but beat him convincingly. Since this boss has an arsenal of moves, we're going to tackle one moveset at a time. First moveset is going to be Straight Sword. On this moveset, Cinder has 6 moves in which he can initiate a chain with. Slash, Backhand Slash, Overhead Slash, Thrust, Upward Slash, and Flame Slash. He can only do a maximum of 3 attacks in any given chain. He can also do the first attack and not continue the chain, so be wary of that. With so many chain moves, memorizing them all can be pretty hard to keep in mind when fighting him, so for the sake of simplicity and consistency, I came up with an idea. We're going to take all the initial attacks in which he can start a chain and divide them into 2 groups, single roll and double roll. You'll understand what I mean in a second. Attacks that come from Cinder's right side, meaning our left, are going to be put in the double roll group except for the upward flame slash, which will be put together with those attacks that come out of Cinder's left, meaning our right. Attack chains that start on the right side of Cinder tend to have a quick follow-up after the first move of the chain in comparison to the attacks that start on his left, where there's a bit more of a downtime between attacks. And since his chains on his right are a bit difficult to react to, specifically the second hit, where there's a mix-up between a quick backhand and a delayed backhand. What you're going to do is roll to the left side on the first attack and then immediately input a second roll, this time rolling back. By doing this, you will be out of range of a second hit as long as you keep walking backwards after the attack. Now that you have successfully dodged the second attack, you're going to have to react to the last hit of the chain, which is a bit easier to react to compared to the second hit. This strat is going to be your bread and butter for his chains coming from his right. Deviate from this and I can't guarantee your safety. Remember to roll to the left to dodge the first hit, then back to space out the second one, and then react to the last hit of the chain. There is a chain that looks scary when he does it, and that is any chain from the right that contains the thrust as the second hit. This chain is a 2-hit move only, and the best way to deal with this is doing a triple roll or just spam it till you are out. He can start it with either a normal slash, backhand slash, or upward slash, so the approach is practically the same. The direction for this roll is going to be left, back, and then back. Or if you want to punish him at the end, left, back, and then forward, to punish him only one time. There are occasions where you will see a normal slash as a second attack instead of a thrust. This can be a follow-up from a backhand or an upward slash only. Another thing to mention is that these strings previously mentioned are a separate category, which is the triple roll. Didn't mention it sooner since I thought it would be too much to take, so I throw it in now. For the chains that come from his left side, it is important that you don't spam roll or you can get caught. You're going to have to react to every single attack. Since there is a time between attacks and is a bit slow compared to the chains in his right, you should be fine. Same for the upward flame slash. He can do this move up to 3 times consecutively, so make sure to dodge on reaction, not spamming rolls. The last 2 moves from this moveset is going to be Flame Spin Attack and Flame Thrust. For the Flame Thrust, you'll see him light up his sword and charge at you. Don't panic roll. Learn the timing and roll accordingly. The timing to roll will be when he gets close to you. If by any chance you're close to him when he goes for this move, the timing is going to be after he starts charging at you. The next move is meant to bait spammy panic rolls. I highly suggest you familiarize yourself with this move. He will light up his sword, walk up to you, and then go for a slow spin attack. Him walking up to you can be confused with the previous attack, making you roll early, which can result in taking a hit. If you are an experienced player, you can get away with hitting him when he walks up to you, and then hitting him again after rolling the attack. If you're feeling savage, you can run around him while he does the move, and if you're fast enough, he won't catch you, giving you the chance to hit him twice, which the end result is the same as you hitting him, rolling, and then hit him again. The choice is yours. One important thing to note is that you're going to want to roll exactly the way I tell you, so you can punish him. Spam rolling will only make it so that you miss your chance to punish him, which is the best moment to do so. Also, when rolling his third move from the chain, make sure you roll towards him so you can punish him on time. Remember that he has a maximum of 3 hits on a chain, so you're free to attack him once after rolling the third hit. If you're still having problems knowing when to punish him, you can look at his elbow when he's doing the chain attacks. When you see him lower his elbow slowly, it means he's done doing the chain and you can punish once. This can happen even after the first attack of the chain. Next moveset is Soul Sorcery. The moves are Crystal Soul Spear, Pharaoh Hail, Homing Crystal Soul Mass, Soul Greatsword, and Soul Stream. For Soul Spear, the attack will come out at the end of the full circular motion. You can time your roll based on that. For Pharaoh Hail, the timing is going to be when he does the forward motion with the staff before he shoots the hail. This is the initial pose for the Pharaoh Hail animation. Roll forward on that attack to dodge both bursts of projectiles successfully. If you roll to the side, you're more likely to get hit. For Soul Stream, you can walk behind him and the attack won't connect. Or if you want to have a little fun, get in his face and keep walking forward and the blast won't hit you. For Soul Greatsword, the timing will be shortly after he brings out the Greatsword. And lastly, Homing Crystal Soul Mass. When he pops his Soul Mass out, what you're going to want to do is very simple. Walk to one side consistently and do not roll. Don't roll any of them. One of his purposes is to bait a roll, putting you in a situation where you might get hit by the next attack he performs. Walk constantly to one side to counter Soul Mass and roll the other moves. Here is where it gets a bit tricky. With Soul Mass active, the direction in which you roll Pharaoh Hail is going to be a bit different. The idea when countering this situation is to maintain constant motion towards either left or right, so you don't get caught by Soul Mass while rolling. So rolling backwards or forward is not good at all. Rolling straight left or right also has a chance that you could get caught, so the direction that you want to roll is going to be diagonally left or right, forwardly speaking. This way it ensures that you maintain a constant motion so you never get caught by Soul Mass while rolling any of his other attacks. The approach is the same for the rest of the moves in Soul Sorcery, but doing it on Pharaoh Hail is the most important one, since rolling either left or right will have a chance you get hit from Pharaoh Hail, and rolling forward or backwards can almost guarantee a hit by Soul Mass. Third moveset will be Curved Sword. In this phase, he uses Scimitar and Pyromancy. I'll be honest, I don't fight or punish this moveset at all, except for when he does 2 moves in particular. You're going to want to run away or walk backwards from him, and when he goes for an attack, you roll away twice. How fast you do the second roll depends on the move, so let's talk about it. The moves to pay attention are Run Up Slash, Sidestep into a dash attack, Double Overhead, Roll in into 2 Flame Spin attacks, Power Within, Great Combustion, Great Chaos Fire Orb, and Poison Mist. If the attack is Run Up Slash, Sidestep Dash Attack, or Double Jump Spin Attack, roll twice immediately. If the attack is a projectile like Combustion or Fire Orb, 1 roll is enough. Poison Mist is an AoE that builds up poison. Just stay away from it when it goes for it and you'll be fine. When he goes for Power Within, 90% of the time he will backflip before doing it. This is punishable, but be careful. There's a chance that it's just an empty backflip, and he won't do Power Within. Also, if you're too far when he backflips, it's better to not be greedy and go for the punish. You probably won't be in time to hit him. Lastly, for the Double Flame Spin attack, he usually rolls in before he does it. Try your best not to get baited by his rolls. Wait for when he does the spin attack and react to that. He goes for 2 spin attacks, so don't spam roll or you will get caught by the second one. Just react to both of them. If you're having trouble reacting to them, try spacing your rolls a bit. It should be able to help you. Fourth moveset is going to be Spear and Miracles. For this moveset, you'll see a variety of thrusts like One-Handed Thrust, Running Thrust, Delayed Running Thrust, Upward Thrust, flame upward thrust, and one-handed dash thrust. He also has other moves like backhand attack, spin attack, Wrath of the Gods, and the heal. For running and delayed running one-hand thrust, you either stay far away from him so he won't catch you, or close to him to react to it. Being mid-range, which is like outside his reach, makes the timing for rolling a bit weird and sort of hard to get consistent. I personally prefer to be close to him, but I know other runners who just like to stay far away from him. These moves you can punish once if you end up close to him. Upward thrust and flame thrust are delayed attacks, so don't react quickly. Delay your roll a bit for this attack. Eventually, you're going to want to know the timing for it. These ones you can punish once. The one-handed thrust, one-handed dash, and backhand attack are the quickest moves in this moveset. It's a bit hard to react, but with time you'll develop the muscle memory to dodge it consistently. These moves you do not punish because you'll end up trading with him. Space out Wrath of the Gods, super punish him when he heals. And lastly, for the spin attack, you're going to want to position yourself a bit far from him so when he starts to spin, you will have a better chance reacting to it. You're gonna roll towards him on the right side, which is where the attack initiates. The timing for rolling will be when he initiates a spin. If you get hit before you get to roll, then try rolling a bit sooner. This move is also punishable once if you end up close to him. Now that I explain each one separately, I'll briefly show you how to properly survive against Cinder's Soul Mass version of each moveset. The only moveset excluded here is going to be Soul Sorcery, since I already explained it. I strongly recommend that you don't go for punishes on any of these combinations because you can end up trading with Soul Mass, and that can lead to death. The only moment where you can punish him is when he uses all of his Soul Mass. There's a small window where you can punish him before he spawns more Soul Mass. For these combinations, I'm only going to show you how to move and dodge correctly. So based on the amount of moveset, there's only 3 combinations he can have with Soul Mass, excluding Soul Sorcery. Well, there's actually another one. Believe it or not, is second phase Soul Mass. But honestly, I only experienced it once, so I can't say much about it. If you do encounter that, unfortunately you're going to have to get good or take the L. Now, it's important that you understand and remember in what direction you're constantly going to move for these combinations, for better survival against him. Remember that rolling back or forward will kill you. Left or right will put you in a bad spot. Only do diagonal rolls so you cover Soul Mass while evading his attack. For straight sword, you're going to move to the left side constantly. The reason for that is because of the direction in which we roll his chain moves. Since all of your rolls are going to be to the left side, then it's natural that you move to the left. Now here's the twist. The amount of rolls you do, depending on the chain, is still the same, but the direction changes. Now you'll roll diagonally back left for every attack. This ensures you don't get hit by his moves and makes Soul Mass miss. As for the timing of the rolls, it's the same as if you would fight him normally. For Spear, you're going to move to the opposite direction, which is right. For this combination, you don't have to do diagonal rolls. Normal rolls towards the direction in which you're moving is fine. Just don't stop moving and react to his moves accordingly. When he goes for the spin attack, you're going to want to space him out a little bit by moving diagonally back right. And when he goes for the attack, you roll forward towards his right side. For Curved Sword, you can move towards either side. Roll away from him when he goes for an attack and move constantly to his side to deal with Soul Mass. Only roll when he goes for an attack and make sure the rolls are in a diagonal direction. Before we move on, I will say it one more time. Do not roll any of the Soul Mass. By moving to one side constantly, it will miss. If you roll the Soul Mass, there's a high chance that you will get hit by one of his moves. Also, while fighting one of these combinations, if you happen to roll one of the moves, continue moving on one direction non-stop. The last thing we're going to talk about is Cinder's second phase. The strat for this phase is pretty simple. Just stay away from him and bait him to approach you. Roll the attack and punish. So on that note, I will show you the moves he can do. The moves to expect when you're far from him will be Dash Thrust Attack, One-handed Jump Attack that can lead to either an overhead or a thrust, Two-handed Jump Attack, Sunlight Spear, and Shower of Sunlight Spear. Important moves that he will do when you're close to him are Grab, a Kick, and Lightning Stake. When you enter second phase, he will initiate with an explosion follow up with a jump attack into a 4-string combo that ends with another explosion. After that, the fight will commence. Your goal is going to be to bait moves that he can only do when you're far, which is the first 5 moves that I mentioned previously. All those moves are safe punishes except for the dash thrust attack. The rest you can punish once. For the dash thrust, roll it and get away. There's moments where he will spam this move, so be careful and pay attention to it. For the one-handed jump attack that leads to an overhead, roll both of them and then punish. You can also roll the jump attack and then run to the side so he missed the overhead. If you do this quickly, you could potentially double punish this move. For the one-handed jump attack to thrust, roll both and punish once. When he does the sunlight spear, roll towards him, and if you're close enough, punish once. The moment he chooses to go for shower sunlight spear, you will see him backstep most of the time. When you see that, you can get close to him and do 2 to 3 punishes. Space him out just a bit and roll spam sideways as soon as you hear the lightning, or if you see it. Usually 2 rolls is enough, but 3 is a safe bet. One thing to pay attention is the moves he will do after you punish him. If he goes for the grab, kick, or lightning stake, react to it and punish if you feel like it. All 3 of them are punishable once. If he does anything else, you can spam roll away from him. There are some other moves he can do when you're close to him, like normal slash, overhead, sweep, etc. But the purpose is to make him play our game, not his, and to ensure you have an easier time fighting him. So I won't be going into detail with those. Just roll away and play the long range game to bait a certain set of moves. And there you go. I just shared my secrets on how I consistently beat Cinder without getting hit. If you take everything I showed you here to heart and learn it, I can guarantee you that you will do great against Cinder. If not, then you can come by to my Twitch channel and rant me on how you didn't learn anything. I will personally coach you on how to defeat him. Link is in the description. I'll be waiting. Well, this is gonna be it for me. If this video was useful to you, please like the video as it helps me reach other players in need of this tutorial. And one last thing, do me a solid, my friend. There's a bell that appears when you hit that red sub button. If you click on it, it will give you 3 options. Click on all so you stay notified when I post another video. Help me grow this channel. Become a supporter. I'll see you in the next video. Keep on slaying.